Hey, what's up guys, Chelsea, welcome back to more Witch on the Holy Night. Last time we left off having finished chapter 7, I do believe. And now we have a little, mini, like, end of chapter thing that popped up after we finished the chapter, but it's bunched with chapter 7 in the archive, so that's kind of weird, because, you know, 1.5 was its own thing, right? Like this. But maybe that's because this was, like, so much longer. Whereas Martha is just its one little section, maybe. But, yeah, anyway. Let us get started. Oh, right. Sojiro got Alice's stamp of approval, kind of. She doesn't plan to kill him currently, which is, you know, that's a W in my book. But anyway, yeah, sorry, enough stalling. Let's get on with chapter 7. I guess we'll call it like 7.1, Martha. Walking around the mansion at night often led to mysterious encounters. Yeah. Mist might suddenly fill the hallway. Uh-huh. Or doors might appear and disappear. Well, that seems pretty normal to me. Just when Sojiro thought he had seen it all with pig-shaped shadows mending the carpet. Uh-huh. He heard the sound of a bird's flapping coming from the sunroom. It's probably just a blue jay, right?
Nanigoto?
Or not. Maybe. As much as he had become accustomed to turning a blind eye to such occurrences, the sound of flapping wings in the sunroom was too much to ignore. And not just one bird or even two. It sounded like dozens. That's weird. So many birds packed in the sunroom would inevitably lead to shattered windows and broken glass. I guess. Sojiro grabbed a broom and dashed toward the sound, prepared for the worst. And there's nothing there. Perhaps he was moved by his natural impulse to help, or desperate self-defense. His mind flashed to what a teacher had said at school.
皆さんも部屋の整頓は心がけてくださいね。人間の自制心って環境に流されるらしいですから。ほら、それまで犯罪の少ない町だったのに、一つボロボロの家ができただけで近隣住人がみんな自堕落になるというあれ。
I think that's a little doomery way of looking at it, but sure, I guess.
環境への無関心さがすさんだ精神を作り上げるとか眉唾ですけど、正直なところブームだからって盗んだバイクで走り回ったり学校の廊下の窓ガラスとか割って回っちゃダメですよ。先生の仕事が増えますから。
I don't think anyone planned on stealing motorcycles. Probably. At the time, school gangs had garnered a certain reputation among the youths. Okay.
窓が割れると心が割れる。
Sure. Sojiro appreciated the basic message of the lecture as he ruminated over it. The thought of broken windows had given him a sense of urgency, as if the mansion's very moral foundations were at stake. I mean, bro, you're living with two magicians, magi, whatever. Like, morality has no place here. Like, his roommates were harsh enough with him already. Anything further would only lead to rampant rumors at school about their cruelty. I don't think anyone at school even knows that... Okay. He had to protect the honor of the student council president. What is going through his head? Like... Like, bro, no one even, people don't even think people live here. Like, I don't know. It was also concern for his own safety that sent him rushing to the sunroom. However, what? Nothing's here. Okay. There wasn't a bird to be seen or a chirp to be heard upon his arrival.
あら、
Hey. Only Alice and Aoko sipping afternoon tea at the table that overlooked the courtyard were present. The dozens of birds Sojiro had sensed within, with his mountain intuition were nowhere to be seen. Okay, so was it Alice messing with her ploys, maybe? Or is Sojiro just going insane? I mean, I doubt he's going insane. It probably was actually something, but...
今ここに鳥が来なかった
He probably sounds insane, though.
アリス、見た？
She's like, he's lost it.
もう見えないのならいないということでしょう。
They are totally fucking with him. 100%. Like, there ain't no way.
だって、いないよ、鳥。
Uh-huh. They're fucking with him. It was a lie so blatant, even Sojiro could see through it.
そんなバカな
Hmm. He knew for a fact he had heard the flapping of a flock of birds. Unable to accept that there really were no wild animals in the room, Sojiro approached the windows with suspicion. There were no feathers or any other signs of birds having been outside either.
夕食、鳥鍋？
Of course, Aoko would say something like that as she watched Sojiro search desperately.
あいにく今日のバイトは魚屋さんだイワシでよければ土産にするけど
イワシ。イワシか？私、あのパイ嫌いなのよね。
Sardine pie? That sounds disgusting.
いえ、むしろイワシのパイとか食べたことないのよね。
Okay. Aoko's stand-up routine was far ahead of its time. Yeah, had the whole squad laughing. Maybe that was her thought. Like, oh, I'm ahead of them. They just don't get it. Sojiro backed away from the window and begrudgingly left the sunroom. Feeling Alice's all too familiar inscrutable gaze upon his back.
なんだいアリ
Just to see he opened his mouth to ask her what she wanted.
あいった
The Blue Jay was like, bitch! Don't talk to her like that! A blue comet crashed into his head. It needed no explanation. It could only be Robin, the mysterious bird that appeared frequently in the mansion. Chirp, chirp, it shrilled accusingly. The truth was, the tiny aggressor that assaulted him just now was the greatest of the mansion's 7 wonders. What are the other... You know what? I don't want to know. Probably the mirrors one and the random mist that appears at night are probably 2 of them. Oh, okay. So with no explanation. They were definitely just fucking with him then, right? Like they were just like doing something to cause bird sounds or a flock of birds sound. Yeah. Sojiro encountered all sorts of people along his route to work. Still new to city life, he found the crowds of people outside the station utterly fascinating. In fact, they were the highlight of his commute. No two people were exactly the same. No two people wore exactly the same clothes or walked in the same fashion. With so many people, you'd think they would all melt into an indistinguishable huddle, but each person he saw was different and unique. Okay. Sojiro was excited as a child as he looked out at the bustling, diverse streets of the city.
いや
Closing his eyes in shame, he sighed. Why are you ashamed? He was upset with himself for behaving like a bumbling tourist from the countryside. Well, half of that's correct.
ちょっと青信号で突っ立ってられるの邪魔なんだけど、何柄にもなく黄昏てるんだか。
Okay. I think this is the same girl from earlier in the chapter that that offered to let him borrow a broom, right? I think it's the same hair, same color. I think it's the same voice. A stern and familiar voice behind him snapped him out of his navel gazing.
なんだ、マッドベアに行く途中だったんだ。私はコンビニのバイト。こっちは5時からだけど、しずきは？
同じく5時から。くまりはどこか寄るところでも？
本屋に寄った帰り、読みたかった本がなくなってたから仕方なく出歩いてたところよ。
なるほど。時間を持て余しているところも同じだね。
Yeah, I guess you do. The girl who greeted him was Kojika Kumari, a work friend who was also in the same year at Misaki High. Though it would have been more accurate to say she was looking for a pretext to fight him rather than greet him. Okay. To Sojiro, Kumari had been the first person in the city he could look up to. They'd met at his first job, where she insisted he wasn't cut out to work the register after many mistakes, and convinced him to quit working at convenience stores altogether. That's fair enough. In the end, she introduced him to his current job at the Chinese restaurant, the Mad Bear, a much better fit for Sojiro. Yeah, you don't really have to do any, complicated button pressing. It's just, wash dish, take food here.
何その無理やりな顔。なんか元気ない。いつも以上にイラッとくるわ。しずきのいいところなんていつもピシッとしてる背筋ぐらいなのにみっともなく丸まってるし。もしかして悩みとかあるの？マッドベアにタチの悪い先輩でもいるとか。それなら話ぐらいは聞いてあげるから。言ってみたら。
Okay, it went from she was looking for a reason to bully him, or not bully him, but a reason to fight him. And now she's saying you can tell me anything? That's an interesting relationship they've got there. Though her tone was stern, her eyes were earnest. Having grown up in the city herself, she was irritated by virtually everything Sojiro said and did. Wow. Nevertheless, she still treated him like an equal. That's good. Introducing him to his current job was just one example of her sincerity.
いや、別に悩みとかそういうんじゃなくて、不思議なことがあったというか、珍しいものを見たというか。
Okay, so I assume we're still going on about the birds. Sojiro couldn't find the words to explain his situation, but that didn't stop him from trying. There were no problems with the Mad Bear to speak of. He liked it just as much as his other job at Uotatsu, the fishmongers in the shopping district. In fact, his problem had nothing to do with work at all. No, his problem was a certain bluebird that would not stop pecking at him recently.
鳥につっつかれる？何それ、小さい悩み。
She's like, what the hell? Her face is like flabbergasted, like what?
でもまあ、青い鳥っていうのは確かに珍しいよね。
Well, at least as vibrant blue as that one is anyway. Like, blue jays are a thing, but they aren't nearly as, yeah, fluorescent.
いや、珍しいのは外見の話じゃなくて。
He stopped, unsure of how to proceed. Words alone were not enough to convey the bird's plump body or the sound of its chirping.
ふーん。綺麗な青色といったらマウンテンブルーバードだけど、日本にはいないわよね。青いツバメだったらいるかもしれないけど。
I don't know.
いや、ツバメじゃなくて丸っこいんだ。図鑑で調べたんだけど、どうもコマドリっぽいけど。
So, Blue Robin. Well, wait, no, I already knew that because Alice calls it Robin, right?
うん。
If I recall.
青色のコマドリは存在しない。
That is strange.
しずきは縁日の青ひよこって知ってる？知らないわよね。いい、そう面白い話じゃないから忘れて。
Okay.
それよりそのコマドリって1話だけなの？
I think so.
ああ、1話だけだ。つがいは見当たらない。
ふーん。突然変異だとしたらちょっとかわいそうね。生まれた時から最後の1話だなんて孤独にも程があるわ。
Yeah. I can see that being a lonely existence.
どんな鳥かは知らないけど、次に見かけたら優しくしてあげたら。自販機で10円を拾うぐらいの幸運は運んでくれるかもよ。
I mean, he hasn't really been mean to it. He's just been, they've just been around each other. That's about it. Her words were perfectly kind, but he could hardly sympathize with the creature after all the painful pecking to which it had subjected him. Goddamn. He wouldn't have called the bird lonely either.
いいじゃない、小鳥1羽ぐらい。
I guess.
そりゃ都会で鳥につつかれるのは珍しいけど、いい方の珍事よそれ。これがゴミ袋を漁るカラスの大群だったら困りものでしょうけど。
I mean, yeah, no, I guess you have a point, I guess.
そういえば他にも気になることが。
Her example had reminded him of the mystery of the disappearing birds at the mansion. A stranger than strange event.
実は今あそこに見える丘に住んでるんだけど。
Okay.
出るん
Should
だ。
you just...
大量のムクドリが頻繁に。そのくせ街に出ると見かけない。
You know, you probably shouldn't go spreading the fact that you live up there. Cause... You know, when you eventually get your memory wiped, right? And... Actually, wait, how are they gonna handle that, actually? Are they gonna make sure he's set up back in his apartment again before they wipe his memory? So that way he has no issues trying to get back in? I would assume so, right? They wouldn't just, like, wipe him before he goes back and gets things set up. I would hope. I don't know why I'm even thinking about this.
当たり前でしょう。街じゃ鳥なんて見かけないし、あそこは山だから動物は多いんじゃない？それよりあなた、あの山に引っ越したの？前のアパートは引き払ったって聞いてたけど、学校まで通うの大変じゃない。なんだってあんな偏僻なところに。
Well, it wasn't my choice.
ちょっとした成り行きだよ。それに通うのは大変じゃない。大変なのは中の話なんだ。
Yeah.
ん？
It took 30 minutes to reach town on foot. The 40 minutes to the nearest convenience store would be the real kicker for most people. But for Sojiro, it was no inconvenience. I don't know, man. 40 minutes to a convenience store and then 40 minutes back? Like, if I had a bike to cut that down to like 8-10 minutes each way, that'd be one thing, but bruh, 40 minutes, man. God. I live about a 30-minute walk from a convenience store, or gas station, and even that I'm like, because it's 30 minutes each way, so it's an hour, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. Like, if it was 20 minutes each way, okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop with the tangent, okay? The real problem was the dark forces beyond human understanding that lurked within the grounds.
すまない。それはクマリに話すことじゃなかった。それより今の話だ。町には鳥が少ないと言ったけど、どうして？
All the noise?
単に環境に適応できなかったのよ。
And that.
何？鳥の話には随分と食いつくわね。しずき、動物好き？
I mean, I feel like he has a healthy fear/understanding with animals due to where he lived.
どちらかというと好きな方だけど。
そう、私は嫌い。そんな私に鳥の話とかしてほしい。
Her statement could hardly be more self-contradictory. Minutes after telling him to be nice to a bird that attacked him, she was now claiming she didn't even like animals. Yeah.
そうだな。嫌いなだけで苦手でないのなら、知ってる範囲で聞かせてほしい。
痛いとこつくじゃない。
I'm getting whiplash from this conversation.
いいわ、バイトまでの時間つぶしにしてあげる。さっきの続き、環境に適応できるかできないかってところからね。
Yeah.
今でこそこんなだけど、美咲はここまで大きな町じゃなかったんだって。昔はその半分が森だったから、彼らはもともと森に適した生活をしていたのよ。
The way Kumari addressed them was of note. Whether she liked them or not, she seemed to at least have some respect for them.
でも近代化した町じゃ自然のサイクルも成り立たない。人間ってのはまず環境を自分たちの都合に変えるから。ヤブ蚊が多いってことで小さな川の流れを変えたり、町中コンクリートで塗り固めちゃえば鳥的にはお手上げよ。虫も森も少ないんじゃ、もう山に逃げるしかない。彼らは故郷を追われてこの森から山に移った。人間にとって都合のいい町は鳥たちが生きるコロニーにはなり得ないから。
そんなことぐらいで減るものか。
Yeah, that's all it takes sometimes.
その姿を見なくなるぐらいに。
Well, I don't know about never. I'm sure they probably fly over the city occasionally, but they don't live here.
そこまで極端じゃないとは思う。現にあなただってムクドリを見てるでしょ。比較の問題よ。街には人間が多いから鳥の姿は余計希少に感じるだけ。たまに見かけるだけで珍しいと思えるぐらいにね。
ああ、確かに。じゃあ鳥は町からいなくなっただけであの山に移り住んで。
Humans might not be able to see them in day-to-day life, but they were alive and well nonetheless. Their habitat and lifestyle changed with the times, but they never truly disappeared. Sojo's sense of relief was sharply disrupted by a serious look from Kumari.
あの山に天敵がいなければね。
Yeah, there's all kinds of predators and whatnot.
人間の手による乱獲か、移った先にいる生態系との衝突か、どちらにせよ居場所を失った彼らの寿命は短いと思う。1世紀持てばいい方かもしれない。旅行鳩の例もあるし、気がついた時には取り返しつかないのが動物と人間の関係よ。
旅行鳩？
Exactly.
そう、旅行鳩。体長は40センチほどもある大型の綺麗な鳥。オスの翼は深い青色で、胸は鮮やかなエンジ色。オレンジ色の目は嘘みたいに愛らしくて、その羽は時速100キロで長い距離を旅するの。
Her voice had a certain tenderness to it. She was daydreaming about birds she had never seen in the flesh.
北アメリカにいた鳩でね、春は南から北へ、冬は冬越えのために北から南に移動するの。今から100年以上も前の話よ。彼らはかつて地上で最も繁殖した高等動物だった。何しろその数は50億。当時の総人口より多かったっていうんだから、圧巻よね。
Yeah.
なんと人間より数の多い動物がいたっていうのか？
I mean, ants. Many kinds of insects. But yeah, carry on.
うん。でも彼らは絶滅したわ。他ならぬ人間の手によって。16世紀にヨーロッパからアメリカ大陸にやってきた探検家たちは、空を覆い尽くすほどの鳥の群れを見た。
That's kind of sad. I don't think I ever knew this actually. That's kind of depressing.
それが旅行鳩を記した一番古くて確かな記録。まあ私も本で知った知識だけど、太陽を隠してそのおびただしい数で森を覆って雪のように糞を落としていく光景なんて、今じゃもう夢物語でしょうね。
I don't know about the rain down droppings part, but yeah.
でも当時の人にとっては悪夢だった。旅行鳩一羽一羽は美しいフォルムをしていても、それだけの数が集まればそれはもう暴力なんだから。彼らはその時点では森を破壊し人間を脅かす悪魔のような存在だった。営巣地は 10km にまで及んで、1コロニーにつき5万羽近い鳥の鳴き声が響いたのよ。一瞬にして風景を変えるほどの鳥の群れと世界を覆うほどの鳴き声。冒険家たちが救んだのもうなずけるわね。
一つの住処に5万羽。
Yeah, it's insane to think about, right? Sojiro trailed off as he attempted to count the number with his digits. Good luck with that. He could barely count the number of people in the crowd outside the station. This would be far beyond his capacity. Oh my boy.
でもそんな数の鳥を人間の手でどうやって？
Persistence.
ええ、当時誰もがそう思ったんでしょうね。でも話は簡単だったの。人間にとって旅行鳩は脅威でもあったけど、同時に安価な実りでもあったから。渡り鳥の胸肉は美味しいでしょ？よく鍛えられてるから。そんな食材が空に向かって鉄砲を撃つだけでバタバタと落ちてきたとしたら、あなたはどうする？
Yeah, I mean, I guess when it comes down to like survival, I would probably do the same, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's like, because they had the option of fishing too, but I guess the like exoticness of, you know, birds native to a land you just are. I don't like using discovered because obviously people lived on, you know, North America, South America, and whatnot before the European settlers, but like before the Europeans discovered the Americas, I guess. Like all of a sudden having all these birds that you never seen before, and as humans do, they're like, I wonder how that tastes. It's like, I don't know, just a little depressing and afterthought.
まあ身も蓋もないことを言えば、旅行バトって鳥は簡単にお金にできる生き物だった。かくして狩りは延々と続けられた。落ちた鳥は羽をむしられて塩漬けの樽に押し込まれて次々と出荷された。それはもう狩りですらなかった。ただの消費。人間側は労働の実感も作業の手間すら感じなくなっていた。その頃旅行バトは1羽1セントで手に入れることができたんだって。ここで言うならたった1円。
I mean, from then to now, though, like with like what 1 cent back in like the 1700s would be like what? That'd be like $10 now, right? If not more. Probably more, actually. Probably be like $30. I don't even know. I don't even know what the like conversion from like 1700s money would. I don't know. But yeah, still, it's like, yeah, whatever.
ほんと信じられる？その国最小の通貨1枚で売買される命がこの地球にはあったなんて。
Kumari spoke as if reciting from a textbook. I mean, she probably is. Her voice, nevertheless, had a certain darkness to it. Was it pity for the slain birds, or disgust for her fellow man? Either way, the passenger pigeon's fate was a cruel joke carried out by humanity. Typical, some might say. Yeah, poor Sojiro had yet to comprehend just how typical that side of humanity was.
けど、それはまだまだ序の口で、本番は19世紀に入ってからだった。人間の旅行バト狩りはますます熱狂していった。学校で習ったでしょ？ゴールドラッシュ。南北戦争を経て、アメリカ合衆国は急激に成長していく。西欧からの移民は増え続け、1870年には4000万もの人口に達していたわ。そんな移民たちの胃袋と財布を満たす材料として、旅行バトは最高の獲物だった。で、もっと最悪なことに、人間は工夫する生き物だった。彼らはより早く、より多く、より簡単に旅行バトを乱獲する手段を競い合った。目をつぶした鳩をおとりにして集団を誘い込んで1日で1万羽以上捕らえたやつさえいた。それでも彼らは乱獲に疑問すら持たなかった。繁殖と狩猟のバランスは誰が見ても明らかに狂っていたのに。
She was doing everything she could to speak in calm, measured tones. Sojiro, meanwhile, was completely enraptured by her words. Having been raised in the mountains, it was by no means a happy story for him. But right now, he was more interested in knowing why it ever happened in the first place. Hunger, greed.
それ一方的すぎないか？旅行バトだって数が減ってくれば人間には近寄らないんじゃ。
そこが彼らの不幸だったのよ。旅行バトは繁殖力が非常に弱くて自衛手段を持たない鳥だった。大群で暮らすこと、それだけが彼らの身を守る手段だったの。彼らが50億の王国を築けたのはそれまで天敵がいなかったからなんでしょうね。先住民であるインディアンも彼らを乱獲することはなかったというし。けど入植者たちは自然のサイクルには点で疎かった。 何よりあのおびただしい数の鳥が絶滅するなんて夢にも思わなかった。旅行鳩にしたら晴天の霹靂よ。まさか何世紀も遅れて海の向こうから天敵がやってくるなんて。そうして1896年、人間はようやく熱狂を冷ますほどの現実に直面したわ。たったの25万羽。
A quarter of a million was all that was left?
それが確認された旅行鳩の総数。何もかも手遅れよ。急いで保護法が作られたけど、人間の習慣はそう簡単には変わらないわ。あるいは狩人たちはこう思ったのかもしれない。まだ25万羽もいるじゃないか。1000羽や2000羽ぐらいなら独り占めしても構わないだろうって。
But when dozens or even hundreds of hunters have that same thought, yeah, okay.
そうしてハンターたちは当時最新の技術、電報で旅行鳩たちの所在を知らせ合って、実に20万羽の旅行鳩を仕留め、4万羽を傷つけた。生き延びたのは5000羽だけ。この時点で彼らは野生で生きられる種ではなくなったのよ。
Sojro's face sunk into a scowl. No longer able to survive in the wild. He knew all too well what that phrase meant. No wild animal can last long on its own. No animal can survive without a sufficiently large population of their fellow kind and sufficient feeding grounds to support the group. Strength in their massive numbers was all the passenger pigeons ever had, and so once that was gone, they were as good as extinct.
それで旅行鳩はどうなったんだ？
最後に保護された旅行鳩はたったの3羽。シンシナティの動物園ではオス2羽、メス1羽の旅行鳩が飼育されたけど、1年でオスたちは死んじゃったわ。残されたのはメス1羽だけ。その時点で彼女は地上で最も孤独な生き物になった。名前はマーサ。
Oh, that explains the name of the section.
北アメリカを旅する鳥たちの最後の1羽でありながら、ただの一度も空を飛ぶことができなかったカゴの鳥。結局29年で彼女はその命を終えたわ。1914年9月1日午後1時。一つの種が終わる時間がここまで正確に残っている例は今のところこれだけよ。
That really is kind of fucked up. Yeah, I never knew the story of passenger pigeons. Like, I knew they were a thing that existed, but I don't know, having it just laid out like that is like, wow, that is depressing. The story of 5 billion deaths had finally come to an end. I mean, it was probably more than that, though, to be honest, right? Like, because they said they thought 5 billion existed at one time. And obviously they got cut down, but obviously there was someone had to have been like born and like so. But yeah, you know, just, I get the point. The birds have been swallowed up by the machinations of human civilization. Kumari had intended to show her sympathy for the lost species, but the emotional impact had clearly been all but lost in Sojro.
意外。できるだけ私的に語ったつもりだけど、受け悪いみたい。山育ちのあなたには憤慨者の話だと思ったのに。
え？いや、すごい話だったけど、整理がつかなくて、当時の人たちは自分たちの手で減らしておいたのに、なんで最後は保護したのかって。
Because They weren't killing them to make them extinct. They were... Okay, Sojiro. Kumari stared blankly at him, eyebrows raised high. Yeah. What he likely meant to ask was why humans would protect the last of a species. The last of a species they themselves had hunted into extinction. Kumari could hardly be blamed for her bewilderment. Having been raised in the city, she failed to recognize the danger inherent in his cluelessness. Okay. He felt neither anger toward humans, for their base selfishness, nor sympathy for the birds who remained in their natural habitat even at the cost of their lives. His upbringing had not provided him with the necessary sense of self-righteousness to produce feelings in either direction.
相変わらずよくわかんないやつ。まあ、私が言いたかったのは、どんなに強く美しく見えても、居場所から追われた生き物は儚いってこと。しずきくん、あなたが見た鳥は、その最後の一羽かもしれないわよ。
And with that, their idle conversation came to an end. It was nearly time for their shifts to begin, and Sojiro was the first to head off.
らしくない。何熱く語ってたんだろう、私。
I'm curious about what the game's like narration meant by the inherent danger in his cluelessness. Like, is that foreshadowing for something? Or what? Kumari remained in the park after Sojiro left. Martha, the last of her species. She had not been referring to the bluebird when she mentioned Martha, but...
やめやめ。珍しいから特別視するとか、バカみたいだし。
She rubbed the back of her head, apparently angry at herself for getting involved in something that was none of her business. Huh. She and Sojiro weren't even in the same class at school. He was a total stranger as far as she was concerned. The more something bothered her, the more she felt compelled to investigate it. It was a personal quirk of hers, and the only reason she had gotten so worked up about the passenger pigeons. Kumari's well-groomed brow furrowed. Okay. I don't know why they had to specify well-groomed, but sure. She had only spoken to Sojiro to make sure he was doing okay at the Mad Bear. Or maybe it was that she'd been strangely drawn to him. Yeah, I think I was right the last time we saw her. I think she's gonna have more importance than just a like side character that happens to do the same job that Sojiro does sometimes. Or had whatever. The more they spoke, the more she felt drawn to him.
まあ、見てて頼りないってのが一番だろうけど。話してみるとしっかりしすぎてるのよね、彼。
Yeah. Amidst her muttered complaints, she recalled the conversation upon parting.
で、少しは街に慣れた？
To which she had given a weak shake of his head.
全然。何にせよ、覚えなくちゃいけないことが多すぎて。
He was trying his best to keep up with the overwhelming amount of new information every day. However, despite his apparent naivety and frailty, he was in fact trying to learn everything he could about his new surroundings. But at the same, there was no reason it needed to be so overwhelming in the first place. It was only due to his own naively subordinate frame of mind that he felt compelled to memorize each and every detail.
どうだろう。素直っていうのはちょっと違うと思うよ。 単にそれがいいことか悪いことかまだ分かってないだけかもしれないし。
He awkwardly claimed.
そうね。でももしかしたらそもそも
Kumari stopped herself mid-train of thought, deciding instead to instead wave goodbye and take her leave. Huh. She sighed aloud every time she replayed the scene in her head. Work at the convenience store started in 5 minutes. She gave herself a light slap on the face in an effort to forget their conversation. She reminded herself that she had neither the energy to worry about other people's problems, nor the obligation to do so. She had her own concerns, saving up enough money for college, for example. Fighting against her parents' opposition every night was drawing enough. Or was draining enough. I don't know why I read that as drawing. Fighting against her parents' opposition every night was draining enough. There was no room for burdening herself with other students' issues. Okay, so why are we getting, like, details about her life? She has to be important somehow, right?
でももしかしたら
She has to be.
か
It wasn't like her to get so tongue-tied, she thought to herself under a strained smile.
ほんとはっきり言ってやればよかった。あなたは単にそういうのに関わる気がこれっぽっちもないんじゃないのかって。
That's... yeah, that's a good question, I guess. I don't know, I feel like he does... I don't know, he's complicated. It's like he does things that clearly show that he cares, at least about other people. But like... I don't know, it just seems like he accepts things as they are, rather than being overly hung up on everything. I guess. He really did annoy her. Now in a thoroughly bad mood, she left the park in a huff. When Sojo entered the drawing room after work with the gift of sardines for his roommates, he came face to face with Alice sitting on a sofa. Hey, it's a new face, I think? I don't think we've seen that expression from her before. Probably.
Yeah, こんばんは、アリス。
He's like, well, this is awkward. The sense of familiarity to be able to say I'm home when entering the mansion still eluded Sojiro. He headed straight to the kitchen to fill a bucket with water to keep the sardines fresh. But the icy stare on his back sent him anxiously to the refrigerator instead.
台所にバケツはダメなんだな。
Yep. Calmly accepting the change in plans, he shoved the sardines into the fridge and peeked back into the drawing room.
アリス、青崎は？
さあ、自分の部屋にいるか出かけているんでしょう。
Her reply was curt. He nodded and got to work cleaning the kitchen. There was nothing in particular he wanted to say to her, and also sensed that it would not be a good idea to start up a conversation needlessly. So he tidied up the sink area, washed the cutting board, wiped down the knives, and put away the cutlery so they could easily be found. Her black eyes monitored every action in his streamlined workflow. A rhythm that even the most seasoned housekeeper would be envious of. Damn, man. Shiro and Hisui and Kohaku have got some competition for best housekeeper. He would surely notice her gaze before too long. He bent over to store a large pot under the sink when it happened. As he began to stand back up, he locked eyes with Alice and then... What the fuck? Was that Aoko? What, but... Or, no, did the bird talk? Before he could make another move, he felt something slam into the back of his head. A bright shock of blue. He knew what it was without looking. It could only be the mansion's blue robin.
洋館に戻ってくるなり、コマ鳥に呼び出される。
I don't know, man. Sojiro muttered under his breath. It was a rare situation that made Sojiro feel like complaining.
小僧、ちょっとそこに座るっす。
The robin chirped in its shrill tone. Okay, the robin's talking. You see, this little creature that loves to attack Sojiro so was the greatest of the mansion's many wonders. And with good reason.
舐めてるっすね。自分コマ鳥だって舐めてるっすね。ところで、鶏鍋ってどういうことっすか？それ美味しいっすか？今度見舞ってほしいっす。
What? What? What the hell? What the bloody hell? Chicken soup Spain? Yes. What? Like so. Sojiro had an inkling of what the bird was getting at. For someone raised in the mountains, this was an utter nightmare. Animals weren't supposed to be able to talk. Then again, having lived in the mountains for over a decade, he did sometimes feel like he could understand what birds were trying to say. He knew it was just his imagination, but sometimes he thought he thought they even saw him as a friend. Not this one. That was not the case with this bird. Yeah. Sojiro had a realist attitude toward wild animals as a result of being so familiar with them, in contrast to the ever-mysterious humans who lived in the city.
しかし、現実だ。
Yeah. Apparently. As much as he wanted to deny the reality he was facing, he couldn't help but recall Kumari's story. She had said to try and be nice to the bird the next time he saw it. According to her, any rare or one-of-a-kind creature must accordingly feel very lonely.
座れって言ってるのに仕方っすか？
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
あー、でも椅子ないっすね、ここ。じゃあ立ってるっす。小坊主だけに廊下に立ってるのがお似合いっす。
Okay.
あれ？今はうまいこと言ったんすかね、自分。
Why do I know this voice actor / actress? I can't. It's hard for me to tell exactly, but I swear I know I know this voice, and it's like killing me to not like. I'll have to look up. Hang on. Actually, I'll do it right now. Hang on. Actually, yeah. I'll hold off in case I accidentally see a spoiler. But I swear I know this VA from somewhere. The bird perched itself on the telephone receiver, seemingly worn out from all the flapping. Sojiro was dumbfounded. Listening in silence to the bird's chatter was his way of expressing his denial.
自分長いっす。プロイ歴長いっすよ。
Okay.
マイ女神の頃からアリスさんに仕えてるっす。なんで青いかとかどうでもいいっす。
You know what? I that's something I actually did want to ask. So you know, I guess it's good that he put that boundary there. I
特
suppose.
技はズバリ探偵役と被害者役。でも探偵である自分が真っ先にコロコロするんで、誰が自分を殺したか結局誰もわからないっす。
What are you talking about?
プロイ、待ってくれ。それには聞き覚えがある。プロイって何なんだ？
何なんだと言われても困るっす。
Yes.
エロいとか役いいとかの最上級じゃないっすか。
What? Huh? Sex? What? Huh? Thusly, the conversation between the two most powerless residents of the Quonji estate. What? Humankind and birdkind able to understand one another after all. Sojiro was tired of letting the bird get to him, fully aware that ignoring it took more energy than it was worth. Filled with a sense of resignation, by the time he finally did make an attempt to interject, both parties' guards were firmly down. Sojiro was focused on how rare the bird was, while Robin was focused on his showdown with his rival that was to be eliminated at all costs. Oh, Sojiro was focused on how rare the bird was, while Robin was focused on the showdown with his rival that was to be eliminated at all. Okay, yeah.
いいっすよ、細けいことは。そんなことよりマイ天使アリスさんの話をするっす。
Okay. You have a weird attachment to Alice.
なんと、アリスって天使なのか？
Yeah, I don't know about that one. It was an impressive sign of progress that he did not need to ask what an angel was.
ヒユっす。自分にとって天使のような存在ってことっす。下界の喧騒とか自分の言葉をガン無視するところとかマジ天使。
So the bird's a masochist. Got it.
アリスさんは神聖不可侵にして冷酷非道。マイ女神であったところの母君とはちょっと毛色が違うっす。
I guess.
正直母君ちょっと育て方間違ったっすね。
I mean, yeah, but probably.
そうか。そりゃアリスにもお母さんはいるんだよな。
Had.
この家にはいないようだけど。
イエス。悲しいことに見まかられたっす。あの頃は前衛の鳥が鳴いたっす。アリスさんに負けないぐらい美しかったっす。後でアルバムとか見るっすか？6ペンスで手を打つっすよ。
Hang on. Is this bird trying to OnlyFans us? Like I got the pics for you if you got the cash. Like, bro, what? What?
いや、そういうのは本人の許しがないと。
Good on you, Sojiro. Good on ya. Sojiro said earnestly as he tilted his head. The reason for his unease was also due to the fact that he had grown more interested in Alice than before. Okay. Despite his detached and passive attitude, he was still a young man like any other after all. Oh?
イエス。それはそうっすね。お前シャバ像の割にいいこと言うっす。人の過去花とかみだりにしちゃいけないっす。ところでアリスさんの子供時代の話とかしていいっすか？自分シャバ像の知らねえアリスさんを赤裸々にアピールして精神的上位に立ちたいっす。
I feel like this is the bird trying to like get us in trouble. Like, yeah, I'm gonna catch you like trying to like dig into her past.
あ、いや、だからそういう話は。
安心しろっす。アリスさんには黙っておいてやるっすから。
Right, I totally believe you.
まずはアリスに自分とアリスさんが初めて出会った時のメモリーを聞くっすよ。アリスさん、ああ見えて友達一人しかいなかったっすから、もっぱら自分が話し相手っつうか。ほら、壁相手にカコーンカコーンってピンポン玉打ち返すゲーム、あんな感じっす。アリスさんのメモリーはおよそ14年分。じゃあ1年目から行くっすよ。
Please don't.
いや、だから。
行くっすよ。
I'm waiting for Alice to walk in and be like, Robin, shut the fuck up.
もう誰も自分を止められないっす。
I feel like I'm like on LSD or something, cause like, like what the fuck's happening anymore? This bird was trouble. The word bird brain had taken on a whole new meaning to Sojiro. If he were stuck here listening any longer, he had the feeling he might hear something he would not be able to unhear.
すまない。そろそろいいかな。
With a wave of his hand, he attempted to flee to the attic above the second floor.
ちょ待つっせ。ここからがいいところなのになんで去るっすか。スカーレット・オハラっすか。激動の主人公気取りっすか。
Yes.
そのあたり自分なんか納得いかないっす。まだうちに入ったばかりの新参者がなんでアリスさんの視線を独り占めしてるっすか。許せないっすけど、その秘訣を教えてほしいっす。切実に。自分本気出したらすごいっすよ。
Is that what this is about? Because Alice is like watching him like a hawk, where she completely ignores you? Really? Okay. I don't know what to say. The bird is jealous.
何？
Halfway up the stairs already. Sojiro quickly retraced his steps. And of course that gets Sojiro's attention.
君、今のはどういう？
Oh boy.
だからアリスさん好きあらばお前を見てるっす。思い出したんすよ。そもそも自分熱視線でサーチされてるからって突き上がるなと釘刺しに来たんす。だいたいその字は何度も自分に助けられてるっす。
Wait. How do you know? Wait. How do you know that name, Robin?
アリスさんの命令がなかったら今頃その字鏡の中でおだぶつっす。これなんすかね。人間の感情とかわかんないっすけど、魚辺に里とか書くっすかね。
I have no idea what that expression is supposed to mean. There's that crazy rubber and glove that you humans get all. I have no fucking clue what that's supposed to mean. Oh, I just
助けられてるっ
smacked
て
my microphone.
俺が？
I mean, yeah.
まあ殺そうとしてるのもアリスさんっすけどね。
Oh, yeah,
アリ
okay.
スさんはこう言ったっす。彼が鏡の中に迷い込みそうになったら助けてあげて、危険なものには近寄らないように誘導もしてあげて。でも思い上がらないことね、しずきくん。別にあんたのことが心配なわけじゃ。
Alice? Did you just murder Robin? It happened in a flash. With a swift, unhesitating strike of her hand, Alice squashed the bird right then and there. Squashed the bird right then and there as it sat on the telephone receiver, standing in the foyer. Her pressed palm continued to pin it down. The bird's crushed form resembled a bright rubber ball, like what a child might play with.
アリスさんくらいっす。
You were saying something you weren't supposed to, I guess.
そして痛い。体中の血液がくちばしからこう右方向に流れていく感覚とか。
The bird raised a mighty uproar.
これの言うことは気にしないで。
Yes, ma'am. Y'all can't see it, but I saluted. Alice returned to the drawing room, taking the bird with her. Her dark silhouette, cloaked in shadow, was the complete opposite of the gaudy little bird. Uh-huh. That was, interesting. Sojiro folded his arms as he stood alone, no less confused than before, and whispered,
こうしてますます疑問は増えていくのだった。
True. Up at the night sky, visible through the skylight. Big factoids. Oh, first year at Takonji Estate Volume 1. Yeah. Did PlayStation achievements just spoil me? Is he gonna be there for multiple years? And I just got like spoiled by the game or by PlayStation, that is. Hang on, is it okay? If I really got spoiled for that, I need to figure out if there's a way to like turn off PlayStation achievements. Because if that really was a spoiler, I'm kind of pissed. I'll look into that. But anyway, for now, that's gonna do it. That was 7.1, I guess. Or like Chapter 7 Epilogue. And yeah, that was actually quite interesting. I learned a bit about a species of bird that I'd known about, but I'd never really heard the story in full, so that was interesting. And we had a LSD trip by talking to a bird, also interesting. And yeah, I guess next time we'll go on to Chapter 8, which was called Are You For Real, I guess, which is an interesting chapter name. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.